Thanks for checking out this haul video. So this is all the Vinegar Syndrome that came out that was new for November, and it's a big stack as you can see right here. So pretty excited to get into this. This video will take a little bit just because, yeah. So anyway, I have it ranked as usual, of my least anticipated to my most anticipated being the last one I'm going to go over. But in this instance, actually, before I did this video, I actually had a little extra time. So I've already watched some of these, actually an okay amount of these. So I can tell you a little bit, but I'm also going to be doing short movie review videos. So I've been utilizing the shorts feature on YouTube to just do very short, like 60-second or less reviews of these Vinegar Syndrome releases, so you can find that there. But when I get these up, I don't know. Some of these will be pretty soon because I already watched them, but some will not. But anyway, the one I'm least excited about is The Black Room. I watched this one already. Not huge on it. The pacing isn't the greatest. There's some good concepts in the movie, and there's good acting, actually, too. Love the artwork on this, though. Artwork's very nice. And, okay, she's got a bra on. I was going to say, oh no, is that nudity? Do I need to block it? And then on the inside, it's just kind of, you know, that stuff. But let's read about The Black Room. Looking to inject a little more excitement into his life, family man Larry seizes the opportunity when he happens across a newspaper advert for a unique and exotic room for rent in a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. The room, draped in black sheets and filled with candles, pillows, and mirrors, seems to be the ideal place in which to carry out his extramarital affairs, which Larry promptly does, first picking up a young college girl and later a prostitute. The mysterious owners of the property, siblings Jason and Bridget, seem more than happy to accommodate the wayward husband, dutifully preparing the room for each visit, but what Larry doesn't realize is that Jason is deathly in need of regular blood transfusions, and the pair have been abducting each of Larry's carnal conquests to use as victims in Jason's deadly laboratory. So like I said, it's a good concept, but it's got some pacing issues. Now, special features are a good time to hear kind of like the backstory on what was going on, and apparently, I think it was the co-director, there's director and co-director on this. I think they were saying, a bunch of people were saying the co-director was a real ass and hard to work with, so there were a lot of unhappy people on set, which is very unfortunate. But my favorite interview on here is with the daughter of the producer. She had a lot of very interesting things to say. She actually worked in the craft services during the film. So this is one where the movie's not terrible. I didn't really love it, but I like the special features more. So The Black Room. The next one was their VSA release, and this one is Untold Story 2. It's a Hong Kong film from the late 90s. Love this artwork, by the way. Looks really cool. What really sold me on it was the trailer. Oh, also nice. The trailer looked like really zany and like over the top and fast paced, and it is. It is all those things. I've watched this at this point. It has that going on for it. The inside's just like the same thing, and it has a booklet. It comes with a poster, and then it also has a booklet in here. You know, make sure there aren't boobs, but yeah, like you can see, there's a booklet with some stuff in here. It's very, very sparse. Unfortunately, there are no special features on this, which is very weird to me, honestly. But yeah, I bought it, like I was saying, I bought it because the trailer looked interesting and fast-paced and everything. Plus, it has the actor, the main actor in it is the guy who played the sushi chef in Biozombie, which I really liked him in that, so... I've already watched it. Like I said, it's decent. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I liked it enough. It was a good enough time. Might rewatch it at some point. I don't know. But let me read you about it. Chung is in an unhappy marriage. He works with his wife at a local barbecue restaurant, and she takes every opportunity to belittle Chung and use him for his money. To make matters worse, Chung isn't able to satisfy his wife in the bedroom. Wah wah. One day, his wife's cousin Feng arrives in Hong Kong from mainland China, and Chung and Feng instantly form a connection. Feng isn't like his wife. She is respectful and treats him well. Chung tries his best to not give in to the temptation, but eventually he is overcome with desire, and he and Feng start a secret relationship behind his wife's back. However, Chung soon finds himself way in over his head when he discovers that the mild-mannered Feng is hiding a dark and grisly secret. fun enough. If it sounds interesting to you, you might want to check it out. But here's one of the things I hate. I hate these bottom loading things because it is really hard to get these back in there. Like, you really have to be careful because it's very easy to get the plastic and the covers stuck. I got it. That's up. Okay, so Untold Story 2. The next one I have not watched yet. I haven't dove into this one because it's a 3-film set. And they did this. This is the Prophecy with Christopher Walken, all 3 of the films. Now, I have seen a few years ago the first movie of this, and I actually was impressed with it. The gore in it, great practical effects, really goes for it in the gore. It's a whole, like, old school good versus evil thing. So I've never seen Prophecy 2 or Prophecy 3, so I'm interested. But this is the same cut as they did for Blade in the Dark. Really cool artwork, and then you remove it, and you got that. Super cool, love that. And then on the back, they have the same thing going on, where it's that, and then that. I love this thing. Oh, why did I put it back? And then on the inside, we have the Prophecy, and then that. Don't really love this design. Think it would have been fun if they had gone for something else, maybe like a gore scene from the film. That would have been cool. Now, these are 4Ks. And then on the inside, we have 4 discs. Ta-da! Now let's read about it. One of the bloodiest and most creative late 20th century horror franchises, the Prophecy Trilogy, all of which star Oscar winner Christopher Walken as the evil angel Gabriel, broke new ground in 90s horror with their high-concept narratives and gruesome practical effects. Vinegar Syndrome is proud to present blah, 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 blah. Don't need that. In Gregory Wyden's acclaimed directorial debut, The Prophecy, from 1994, Elias Koteas stars as Thomas Daggett, a former seminary student who has turned his back on religion, instead becoming a homicide detective. Thomas's latest case of his strangely deformed and mutilated corpse pushes him into the middle of a bloody battle between Simon, played by Eric Stoltz, by the way, love Eric Stoltz, an angel of good, and Gabriel, played by Christopher Walken, an angel of evil, each of whom are attempting to gather souls and build an army in order to prevent or bring about the apocalypse. So then we have Prophecy 2. In director Greg Spence's gruesome follow-up, Prophecy 2, Dark Angel Gabriel, vengeful over his failure to bring about the end times, returns to Earth intent on spreading violence and destruction, but soon sets his sights on Valerie Rosales, played by Jennifer Beals, a nurse who, unbeknownst to her, is pregnant with an angel. If Gabriel is about to kill both her and her child, he will hold sufficient evil power to finish his war in heaven. And finally, in director Patrick Lucier's closing entry in the trilogy, the Prophecy 3, The Ascent from 2000, and Prophecy 2 is from 98. The now human Gabriel is faced with an unlikely challenge to assist Danielle, a resurrected half-angel, half-human, in stopping the evil angel sent to kill him, and to help Danielle prevent heaven's war and stop the coming of a second genocidal god, Piriel. And it looks like, from the looks of it, there are a decent amount of special features on this. So I'm excited to check it out. Like I said, I remember enjoying enough the first movie when I saw it. And, it says that, like, the gore keeps going. So I'm all about that. So that's Prophecy Trilogy. Then we have one that a lot of people were really going wild for, and that is Fatal Games. I have already watched this one, and I watched special features. This is a pretty fun time. It's a very low-budget slasher. I love this artwork, by the way. This is outstanding artwork. I want more stuff like this. The back looks really cool, too, but the front is just so good. And then on the inside, this is the original artwork, which also I think is kind of fun. And on the inside, kind of same stuff. So let's read about Fatal Games. The young athletes of Falcon Academy are training hard to earn their place in the Nationals. But when these burgeoning sports stars start disappearing one after the other, Dr. Jordine and his team, who've started plying their athletes with new and untested performance-enhancing drugs, are baffled. Little do they realize that a javelin-wielding, tracksuit-wearing killer with a strong throwing arm and a deadly grudge against athletic excellence is on the prowl, picking off the Olympic hopefuls one by one. Whether they're squeezing out a few extra reps in the gym, training on the field, or clocking up some late night strokes in the pool, nowhere is safe. As their numbers continue to dwindle, can the remaining athletes unmask the maniac before they're disqualified? For good. Their descriptions, their synopses, always have these, like, a lot of run-on sentences. I feel like they need to fix that. I'm just saying. But anyway, if you're into slashers, I think you'll really enjoy this one. There is something in it that is now problematic, but that is one of those things where you just kind of have to remember that the time that this film was made, and if this film was made now, it would be a big problem, but it's problematic now to see it, but, you know, context of the time that we lived in, where we were versus how far we've come, but we still have further to go. But yeah, the kills in this are fun, and that's what I like. Obviously, the acting's not good because it's a super low-budget slasher, you know? But it's a fun time. I enjoyed it enough. Fatal Games. I also give them a donation of $10 for April Fools in April, obviously, and that came with a alternate slipcover, which is kind of cool because it's this, like a game, basically. Like, you see all these gray dots, that's scratchers. So obviously this looks cool because it's set up like a video game. The back also looks like a video game, and it tells you how to play by scratching it in order to defeat the killer. And I also like that they did Vincindo. And then they have the way to play here. I'm not going to scratch these. I'm going to keep this around up. I might get rid of this, actually, just because I don't feel like I need it, because this is way cooler than this. But this is a cool concept. It's a good idea. For $10, whatever. I'm down with it. So then the next one is the monster of what they put out in November. And this is going to take me some time to get through. I haven't watched any of these yet, but I very soon will be starting to get into them. And with the holiday coming up, hopefully that means that I'll have time to get through a lot of these, and I'll obviously be doing those short reviews for them. That is their Lost Picture Show. So this was the biggest undertaking that Vinegar Syndrome has ever had, basically, where they took 10 previously lost films, why it's the Lost Picture Show, and put them together into one 10-film box set, which obviously, look at this, it's freaking massive. And it has magnet to keep it together here, and then you unfold it, and it's a little unruly as you unfold it, so you have all this going. No nudity, okay? Yeah, always got to check. Oh, whoops, I didn't go far enough. All of that, you have all of that. Whoops, let me try and center it. Yeah, it's very unruly, and then you have, I'm not even going to be able to, like, keep holding it like that, because it's hard to do. So on this side, we have a booklet, oh no, they're covered, it's pasties, it's fine. A booklet that has a bunch of stuff in there, and then the first disc with that, and that. And let's talk about these films. I'm not going to read about, like, their thing. I'm just going to read about the movies. I'm not going to say swear words either because it's on here. All right, so Disc 1, a notorious mind F of underground cinema meets sexploitation, which won equal praise and condemnation at the time of its release. Walter Burns' Barbara from 1970 chronicles one raucous summer on Fire Island where anything goes and everyone does it. That sounds interesting. So Disc 2, one of the earliest proto-slashers, director William Collins and writer-producer Oliver Drake's The Last Vegas Strangler from 1968, chronicles the life of murderous, psychotic Jeff Murray, whose perverted mother obsession leads him on a blood-soaked rampage across the glitter of Sin City. Considered by many to be amongst the holy grails of lost exploitation cinema. Wow. Charles Nizet's delirious mix of sex and violence, The Sex Serum of Dr. Blake from 1970, subsequently re-edited and released as Voodoo Heartbeat in 1972, piles on heart-ripping orgies, blood-drinking, boat chases, and much more. So already sounding pretty interesting here. Then we have disc number 3, a lost film itself made from an unfinished film, Carlos Tabalina and Bill Cable's sexy saga of moral pondering, What's Love from 1987, combines footage from Cable's unfinished early 70s epic titled What is Love, with a newly shot second half, with Cable playing a reincarnation of his earlier character alongside Sharon Kelly and Ginger Lynn. Also a true maverick auteur who wrote, directed, photographed, and often appeared in his own work, Titus Mode's landmark docudrama on the rise and fall of hobo culture, called The Last of the American Hobos from 1971, is a delirious and earnest tribute to a forgotten facet of Americana. And then there's a bunch of special features on this specific disc. So now let's get to the second disc. By the way, if you end up hearing some people doing like leaf blowing in my neighborhood, I hope that's not getting picked up because my microphone should be good enough to not have that showing up. My apologies if you hear it though. So then we have another booklet on the other side with this disc. We got that. We got that. And let's find out about this. All right. So, well, I guess I could have told you. I could have told you on the other one this, but in this one we have Beware Black Widow, Deep Inside, Rare Blue Apes, Red Midnight, and Violated, which I'll go over. So on disc 1, a vanity project come nuclear Holocaust scare film made apparently for altruistic reasons by a middle-aged optometrist from Cape Cod, Red Midnight from 1966 is simultaneously an incredibly ambitious treatise on the potential danger of overcrowded urban environments and a trashy exploitation film. Also sounds interesting. These all sound very interesting. Disc number 2, an almost impossible to describe kiddie musical shot in Malaysia by veteran sexploitation director Don Greer, who did 101 Acts of Love. The Rare Blue Apes of Cannibal Isle from 1974 offers a jaw-dropping barrage of singing crocodiles and monkeys, deadly and psychedelic booby traps, barren hellscapes, and a lovable duck named Mr. Quack Quack. We guarantee you've never seen anything like it. Sounds like it. The final film from Orson Welles collaborator Albert Zugsmith, the incredibly sleazy R and Revenge mystery Violated from 1973, stars Renee Bond in one of her finest dramatic performances and is an all-out assault of bad taste, and pure drive-in trash of the highest order. Interesting. And then disc number 3, a forgotten treat from New York's intersection of homespun horror and nudie cinema. Larry Crane's TNA-filled whodunit Beware the Black Widow from 1968 offers a tantalizing giallo-esque mystery enhanced with copious nudity and plentiful 60s location photography. And then, long considered one of acclaimed erotic filmmaker Joe Sarno's most important yet lost films, Deep Inside from 1968 is a stirring coastal character drama anchored by one of Sarno's finest screenplays. So there you have that. And then I gotta put this back. Although, just since I didn't show before, this one says on it, Barbara, Las Vegas Strangler, Last American Hobos, Voodoo Heartbeat, and What's Love. So there you go. Okay, so this one is a monster, obviously. It's very large. It's going to be something to go through. It's going to take some time, but I will be putting out those short reviews. It's a big one. Pretty excited about it, though. So that comes to the last one. This is the one I was most excited going into things. I rewatched it when I got it because this is a movie I have seen before. Early 2000s, I watched this. David Cronenberg's Existens. I liked this movie quite a bit when I initially saw it on VHS. I still really like it. It still really holds up. It's great. I'm going to be honest. This is one of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases to date. I don't have like every single one, but I have a pretty decent amount. They did this thing where you're not going to be able to really see the texture, but there's like a different texture to it. It's supposed to be like skin, like flesh texture. It's just kind of like wrinkled. That's all it is. It's not really flesh texture, but good try, you know. So you got that. You got this. You'll know what that is if you've seen the movie. And then on the inside, you have a booklet about Existens, which will be cool to eventually read. You have this, which is my favorite piece of artwork for this. You have something really pertaining to Existens there. Existens itself. And then on the inside, we have that again and those again. 4K. So it looks great. I can't recommend this enough. It's a very good film. It's very Cronenberg. It's, you know, it's got the body horror stuff, but it's also extremely impressive with how much they were able to do on a small budget. They talk about that in the special features, and there are some really good special features on here, including archival ones. So let's read about it. In the near future, video games have evolved to a point where they are able to biologically interact with players through the use of an electronic umbilical cord. Allegra Geller has created Existen, a highly anticipated virtual reality game, which has come under fire for its potential ability to effectively warp players' perceptions of reality. When an anti-game zealot attempts to murder Allegra during a demo, she narrowly escapes with the help of her publicist, Ted Peichel. However, Allegra discovers that the only master copy of the game might have been damaged during the attack and convinces Ted to test it with her. After Ted reluctantly agrees, the pair enter the virtual world of Existence, but it's not long before they start becoming uncertain as to where the violent gameplay ends and reality begins. If it sounds interesting, I assure you it is very interesting. It's very Cronenberg. If you like Cronenberg, this one's a must. If you haven't seen it, if you like this movie, this is a must to own, in my opinion. This is awesome. All about this one. Highest recommendation. But anyway, that's it. I think we've done enough. It's over 20 minutes. They usually don't take that long, but I will be doing another video. I'll be putting out another video 2 weeks from now that is everything else I picked up during their Black Friday sale. So that was all the releases for November. The rest will be covered in that Black Friday one because I had to, you know. So anyway, let me know in the comments, what are you excited about of any of these? Are there any you want to pick up, or did you pick any of these up? Also, do me a favor, hit like on this video if you liked it at all. Subscribe to my channel if you like any of my videos, including this one. That's your best way to repay me, and I do appreciate it. You can hit also the notification bell button because then you'll know when I'm putting up new videos. But regardless, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this. I greatly appreciate it. I'm actually about to stop recording and start one of those Lost Picture Show movies. I'm going to start at the beginning with Barbara, so awesome. Everyone, thank you so much. Keep it brutal.